Hello everyone, it's me, Artemis. Um, the creator of Danganronpa Justice Crowned. Um, Today we'll be mainly talking about the original progress of Justice Crowned, which I have kind of forgotten as time went on of creating it. But stuff happens. So let's just get into it. So first we have the original mastermind. The original mastermind was supposed to be Nero's sister, who was actually a doppelganger of Nero's sister. So like the doppelganger stole Nero's sister's body. I felt like that wouldn't work somehow. I I don't know. I just felt like it didn't work because Nero threw his sister's dead body. Like he didn't, he buried it actually. So yeah, um that's that. um Hay taking over as protag. So that was actually like a that wasn't planned like at all. It was like rather like just the top off the top of my head thing. I just kind of like wanted like a twist and stuff, so I just decided to have uh, Mira kill Nero, and also, um, sorry about that. Um, Anyways, I was just about to say like how to pronounce their names. So it's Nero Jumuk. Sorry, kind of butcher his name there, but it's Nero Jumuk. Sorry again. Is Nero Jumiki. It's Hei Atuo, Jin Kumori, Himi Atushi, Mira Haruno, Hiko Suno, Osuno, sorry, Star, you know, Sho Kiyuki, um, Dal Numuki, Toshi Usahi, Tatoshi Nuwari, Lyle Runji, Asta Yinki, and Evan Usami. Don't mind those names, please. I don't know what I was doing creating them. Just don't mind them, please. Oh, and also Sukiyo. Yeah. And also Nimi. Don't forget her. Um, yeah. Anyways, let's also go over the traders. So the traders being a group wasn't really planned either. That was also off the top of my head. See, most things that were in the story weren't actually planned at all. Really, like all of it, if you really think about it. Um, except for Nero, just the roles, obviously. Um, but yeah, the traders, that was just kind of a thing I just thought about at like the beginning, I would say. So yeah, that's that. And okay, so the chapter 4/5 situation. Originally, Himi was supposed to frame Satoshi, cause remember when Satoshi, her stomach was hurting and stuff, and so Himi wanted to use that advantage to try to frame Satoshi, as to make it seem like Satoshi was getting back at her. But then I made it to Himi wanting to get revenge on Jin, because he's technically the main reason why Mira died. But and then chapter 5, um originally it was either Toshi and Jin were going to work together, with Toshi obviously being the victim and Jin being the culprit, or Jin was going to, no, wait, Toshi was going to let Jin kill him, as Toshi had no will left in him, I would say. So that was, I would have gone that, but again, it wouldn't have made sense at all. So yeah. um Star actually being a girl. So this, again, sorry. So Star actually being a girl, that was a thing I made like around the mastermind reveal, I would say. Originally, I would have liked Star to be originally like a twin girl and make Suni some kind of perverted old man that would rather his twin sister be a twin brother, because he would always hate the twin sister because she was a girl. Well, I was saying he's rather misogynistic than perverted, but you get what I'm saying. But yeah, that was, Suni was originally going to make Star from a girl to a boy, but I scrapped that entirely. I don't know why. I just did it. So yeah. Okay, chapter 3, motive. Again, it wasn't planned. Anything in the series isn't planned at all. Except for maybe their deaths. And the culprits, But yeah, chapter 3, motive. It was just going to be like one regular motive, just like, any other Danganronpa, but I decided to have 3 motives instead, just for like suspense, anticipation, like just things of that nature. Yeah. Himi coming back to life. So in chapter 4, when Himi um offed herself, um originally she was going to be brought back to life and then be executed, um as like some form of torture, I think. um but I decided to not go with that because I felt like I didn't know how that would work. um and yeah, I think I was too lazy to input that in the series. So yeah. Anyways, how the devs would look like. So some of the devs weren't going to be what they originally looked like, I would say. Mainly Toshi's and Himi's, mainly. Um, um, oh, and Jin's dev too. Um, so like Toshi, he was originally going to be, his neck was going to be, uh, sliced, I guess. Um, at like a swing, and he had like a book in his lap, something like that. Um, and I guess the sun would be pointing on him, and he would be smiling and stuff. So yeah. Then for Hemi, she was just gonna be like simply laying her head down on the table, and she just looked peaceful, I guess. Um, I don't know why I went that. I don't know why I would wanted to go that way instead of the way I actually went. Uh, I just don't know. But okay. For Jin, his head was originally going to come off by the sharp wire, but I just went for him to be, um, just for some reason, I don't know. Also, um, I want to clarify, during Mira's whole "I hate myself" speech, during her execution. That was kind of me projecting at that time. Um, as I currently have my own personal feelings about myself. But yeah, that was kind of me projecting, as I was kind of in a mood about that. But that's neither here or there. I do feel better now. But yeah. Okay, so Nero's backstory. So Nero, he grew up on a farm. His parents um rich and all that, farmers. Actually, they're farmers. So yeah. His sister, she was like a role model to Nero and stuff. He looked up to her. Sorry. Um, he it was quiet during school. He wasn't bullied or anything. He was a quiet kid. Um, except for like maybe a few kids hated him for some reason. Um, let's go. Just not get into that. But yeah, they went to his farmhouse. The sister killed them in anger. The parents came in. She killed them too. Um, and then Nero had to kill his sister with a spear, which that was his secret. That was his secret during the chapter 3 motive. The spear thing. Yeah, he killed her with a spear, then buried her body. Um, that's why her her ghost was his his little motive thing during chapter 1. Yeah. Um, mm. um, Jen being a believer of God. That again, that wasn't planned at all. That was just a thing to add in because I just really wanted a kind of religious character. I would say both Satoshi and Jin are religious, I would say. But not really Satoshi because, she would say fuck the Bible a lot. But, that's, again, neither here or there. But yeah, I made Jin pretty religious. And I think it turned out well. Um, even though the he went gets everything the Bible said. But also, Nero being the protag, Hei being the support, and Jin being the antagonist. Technically, Asta was also the antagonist. She was just the main one for those current 3 chapters, and then Jin would take over for the last remaining chapters. And yeah, um, I want to go with that since Jin, he wasn't. I didn't make him to seem like an actual antagonist at first, but as soon as chapter 3 happened, I just went with that because I felt like that was the best possible way to dish out his character at that time. So yeah. Okay, possible ships. Let's talk about that. Well, one, just like a few, I would say. Um, Sho and Ju. Um, it's kind of obvious. And then in the epilogue, it's kind of obvious too. Wen and Sho. Um, you know, Wen was Crybaby. Sho would comfort him. Yeah. Jin and Asta, and Jin and Hei, those two, um, they're kind of canon, I would say. But Jin has more love for Asta since since she showed him what love truly was, and then Hei amplified that feeling, and and also, Himi and Mira, and I'll say Doll too, but she's not really interested in relationships. Even if she was human, she wouldn't be interested in relationships. So yeah. Um. So that's. Um. Oh, I forgot about this one. Avon's and Doll's roles in the story. So, there were robots meant to fill in places in Killing Game, since Suni didn't kidnap enough people. And so the real Avon, who's around the same age as Suni, um, like 34. Yeah, 34. Um, he built Doll in Avon. Also, Avon. He uh, like I said before with other characters, there were also original Danganronpa OCs until I turned them into um Crown, Justice Crown characters. So yeah, Avon was part of that. Yeah. So there were just robots meant to fill in places of the Killing Game. They didn't really have any purpose, I would say, except for being like camera. Also, cameras. Speaking of cameras, originally Star was going to have a camera in his eye, and then in the epilogue, he would carve out his eye, wear the eye patch, get rid of the camera and stuff. So yeah, um, um, their personalities, their personalities. I guess I would say like a few of them weren't supposed to act like the way they were. Um, Mainly Jin, Satoshi, um, Himi. Yeah, mainly Satoshi. Originally, when I was just making Satoshi a Danganronpa OC, she was just a calm, relaxed, cool character. But then when I moved her to Justice Crown, she was stubborn, uh, angry all the time, exhausted 24/7. Feel the need to be mean, all that. Yeah, it kind of changed that. Um, Jen, he was just gonna be like the psychic, the wonderful guy, the all that kind of stuff. Yeah, same with she's just the same with Jen. Yeah, um, that's that. Um, Also, to add on to the chapter 4 situation, yes, Satoshi was going to die. Satoshi was going to die, but yeah. Hold on, wait. Satoshi was going to die due to a technicality. Um, I don't know how that would work, but yeah, she would die. Um, that there were going to be 5 survivors instead of 6. Or actually, yeah, it was an or situation, or Satoshi was going to die in a double death along with Toshi, or she was going to be a rule breaker, or she was just going to die by some random accident. I know this sounds crazy for her situation, but she ended up surviving. Um, but yeah, um, characters surviving and dying. The timeline. I kind of noticed that I made not Toshi, Lyle and Satoshi, kind of, and Ju and Sho, I kind of made those 4 kind of unkillable. I noticed that around chapter 3 and 4 and 5, I think. And I was considering killing off Ju or Sho, not Sho, Satoshi. Um, but yeah, I decided not to. Also, I noticed the number of girls to boy ratio of survivors, but I think it turned out good. Um, yeah, that's that. Okay, so family members. I would say most family members are still worried. Well, actually, no. Jew did brought the attention of the killing game and who died, obviously, so they're saddened by it. But Jen's parents, they're obviously saddened, but they moved on by now. Um, Hayes' dad, he was actually in the hospital during the whole thing, but he got out after, I would say, like a few days after it. Lau's dad, he's still alive. He was just stabbed a few times. Um, it's on some Scream type shit. Sorry for my cursing. Yeah. Um, that's yeah. The rest of the parents, the rest of the cast parents, they're still saddened um, by their kids' death and stuff. Um, yeah. But that should be it for the in progress video of Justice Crown, unless I do another one, which I probably will have to or not. We'll see. But yeah, I will actually be considering making another fan game after this one. I just had to plan it out more because this whole thing was a mess. 7 months, and it turned out with this. Uh, but yeah, I'm actually considering making another one after this one, so stay tuned for that. And this will be the end of the video. Hope you guys have a great day or afternoon or whatever time you see this video. Hope you have a good day. Make sure to eat and drink water and have a good day. Thank you. Bye.